It's 4:30 on Sunday morning. I've been riding my bike since 10 p.m. on Friday evening, and I'm quite tired.
So what do we mean by fatigue? In the context of cycling performance, we can define it as a failure to maintain power output or performance over extended periods of time. So what happened to my performance over time? Here I've plotted power against time and it looks like a bit of a spiky mess. So what is it actually telling us? If we look beyond the spikes, we can identify a gradual decrease in power over the course of the race. So if we accept that this signifies fatigue, next we can ask what it was specifically that was causing it. Was it merely the accumulation of distance and time spent cycling? Was it because temperatures increased as I headed into Eastern Europe? What about the impact of cycling at times that I would normally be sleeping? Did I fare better after periods of longer sleep and worse after little sleep? In reality, all of these things played a part in making me feel fatigued, and the nature of performing science in the field compared to the lab is that we are less able to control the environmental conditions and identify which factors were the most important in causing fatigue.
I've had some pretty low moments, and I've been struggling to deal with those emotionally and also practically, logistically. And so my video diary keeping has suffered as a consequence, but now I'm back in the zone, feeling a little bit better about life and ready to crack on.
So as you can see, I had good days and bad days, and not just a gradual decrease in performance over time. And this is what the spiky nature of the graph indicates. And whilst this was perhaps a consequence of all of the environmental and physiological factors that I have mentioned, also note, I often talk of how I feel, which begs the question, does the mind have something to do with it? Emerging evidence would suggest so. This evidence has shown that during endurance activity, when we reach our limits and can no longer exercise, there is actually still energy left in our muscles, and that in fact, our mental perception of effort is what is telling us to stop. In exercise physiology, we use a subjective scale to measure the effort perceived by a subject called the Borg Scale, which is a number between 6 and 20, 6 being no effort and 20 being something excruciating. When I was racing, I reached what I felt was a very, very hard level of effort after a couple of days, but then had to realign my perception of this with each subsequent day as shown here. Related to this, research has also shown that experiencing stressful situations can increase our level of perceived effort and contribute to accelerated onset of fatigue and reduced performance. And needless to say, there were plenty of these in the transcontinental race.
I've lost some things, which I think is probably a product of my fatigue and reduced mental capacity. But it's been pretty tough, and to cap it all off, my phone has just stopped working, so I don't really know what I'm going to do about that. But what I am going to do about that is do it now. So
I've had a terrible morning. Everything that could go wrong seems to be going wrong. I've stopped about 4 times already, and I've only done about 60 kilometres. So, feeling a bit down on myself, really. Absolute killer.